Today on CHGO Blackhawks, our Stanley Cup Contenders and Pretenders. We've got our, I guess not mid-season, but late season awards with 25 games to go, must-see hockey movies, and Chloe Thiel's Blackhawks Valentines. All that next on CHGO Blackhawks. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks podcast live from the Xfinity Loft. We are presented by Bet365. Download the app, use our code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Happy Friday. Thanks for being with us. I'm Jay Zawaski. That is Greg Boysen. Chloe is here running the show as always. Going to have some fun on today's show. Before we do us a favor, hit that like button for us. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page as well. And if you're watching us, or listening to us rather, on your preferred podcast app, make sure you're following or subscribed on said app and turn on those notifications so you know as soon as a new episode goes live. Greg, good to see you today in your HBK Valentine's Day themed outfit. Very much like it.
I've got one for every occasion.
You really do. Have you done a tally of how many Roosevelts you have?
No, but it's over 250.
That's incredible. I don't think I've seen you in anything not a Roosevelt.
That's not true. Last time I was here, I just had a T-shirt and a flannel on.
Okay. I must have blacked out. I was so shocked to see you.
You've blanked it out of your memory now.
Yeah.
No, I only know the count because I buy the hangers I use for them in packs of 50, so I've
there you go.
I'm on my sixth order of 50, so I'm somewhere in between 250 and 300.
That's awesome. That's cool.
I need to spend the off season thinning it out a little bit.
Whittling down?
Yeah,
Sure.
There's so many that never get worn, so might as well pass them on.
What's the resale on those? You get any?
It depends.
Yeah.
Some
are more rare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some are older. Some are out of stock.
I have one. The one you gave me, the Ghostbusters one. Break it out every Halloween.
There you go.
Love it. All right, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to do our Contenders and Pretenders for the Stanley Cup. We're going to give our postseason awards today with 25 games to go. A conversation I had with Chloe at the AHL All-Star Game got me thinking about must-see hockey movies, and I know there haven't been a ton of them since
all
the
three
Hawks
of them,
have been good. Yeah, so we want to make sure the younger generation is caught up on some of the things they need to see. And then we're going to have some fun for Valentine's Day. Chloe put some stuff together as well. So let's start with our Contenders and Pretenders. We are at the point now, as I said, with 25 games to go, where we're getting a pretty clear picture of what the playoffs are going to look like. And as I look at this thing, Greg, there is one team to me that I think, and this is not going to be a surprise to anybody, that is clearly the best team in hockey, and that's the Colorado Avalanche. I don't think they're a plus 74 in goal differential. They are just playing really, really well. They have all year. And the next closest to them in goal differential is Tampa Bay, plus 59. Then Carolina, plus 34. Plus 74 is insane. They've got 37 wins. 34 of them are in regulation. That is a absolute juggernaut of a team. The only thing you worry about when you have a team that's this good in a regular season is, will they be able to continue it in the playoffs? Because it seems to be rare. I haven't done the math in a while where the President's Trophy winning team actually wins the Stanley Cup.
I mean, the last team to do it was the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
2013. Yeah, I mean, they are definitely the best team. I mean, I think the folks in Tampa have a legit argument, but, you know, as you mentioned, Avs have a much better goal differential. They've got more wins. They've got more points. But, you know, they've also played more games against the Pacific Division and the bottom of the Central than the Lightning have. That helps.
That's fair.
But those two teams, I mean, they're the class of the league. It's those two teams, and then everybody else.
Yeah.
If it's not a rematch of the Stanley Cup final from a couple years ago this year, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Because neither of those teams are flukes. I mean, they're loaded with incredible players at the most important positions, and their top players are performing at MVP levels. Nathan McKinnon, amazing player. Cale Makar, but they also have a lot of depth in Colorado. You have to, I think they're as deep as they've been since winning the Cup. But then you look at Tampa. I mean, Nikita Kucherov is, for my money, at the Olympic break, he's the Hart Trophy winner.
Spoiler.
He's been great, and Andre Vasilevsky has been incredible too. I mean, when those two guys are at the top of your game, I like your chances.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy where you've got a league with so much parity this year, because still there's only one team in the Eastern Conference with a sub 500 record. It's the New York Rangers at 22-29-6. That's a .439 winning percentage. The West has a few more. The Hawks, Jets, Flames, Blues, and Canucks are all under 500. But that's, 6 teams in the entire league? So you're seeing a lot of parity. Yet you've got 2 teams that are really kind of the class of the league.
Well, you just said it. Regulation wins. They're winning in regulation.
Yeah.
All these other slog teams go to overtime every other night and get their loser point. That's how they're close to 500 point percentage, picking up all those overtime and shootout losses. I mean, you look at the Avs, and they have, I just had them and I lost them. Great job. They have 34 regulation wins. You look at the Minnesota Wild, who are 5 points behind them in the standings, but they only have 21 regulation wins. They
21 of their 34.
Yeah, they have gone to overtime 23 times this season.
That's insane.
So that, this is part of the reason I hate the 3-point games. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Minnesota's a good hockey team, but
no doubt
they're not 5 points within. The Avalanche have won 13 more games in regulation than them. The Dallas Stars, who are behind them by 1 point, have won 7 more games in regulation than them. So, that's why those two teams are the class of the NHL, because they're not relying on getting the overtime every night to get their points. The Lightning have 33 regulation wins. 33 of their 37 wins are in regulation.
Yeah. To me, that's like when I'm really looking to see, like, okay, who is like legitimately what the record is showing. It's those regulation wins that show it, and they're right there. And Steve brings up a good point too in the chat, saying that Tampa's doing what they're doing despite a ton of injuries to key players. Their top 3D was out at one time, so who steps up? Darren Radish. YGTBFKM. You guys can figure out what that means.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, I mean, but that just goes to show you that coaching matters.
Yeah.
John Cooper is, one of the best in the game for a reason, that his teams, no matter who's there, no matter who's playing on a particular night, they're 18 guys pulling in the same direction at all times. They don't care if Nikita Kucherov's out of the lineup. They don't care if Victor Hedman's out of the lineup. Cirelli's missed time. Brendan Hagel's missed time. As you mentioned, McDonough and some of their other defensemen have been out chunks of the season. And it doesn't matter. Whoever they put in there, Dominic James, is having a pretty good rookie season.
Blackhawks legend.
Yeah, and, Darren Radish, who, buried by the Blackhawks as well as other teams, is figuring it out. Why? Because he plays his role perfectly. He's accepted his role, and when he gets a chance to get elevated, he takes full advantage of it. That's what Jeff Blashill is trying to build here in Chicago, with playing structured but having complete belief from everybody on his roster in the system. When everybody believes what they're doing is the right way, it doesn't matter if you're third pairing, top pairing, up and down the lineup. You know what your job is, and you go out and do it.
And when we have seen the Hawks have success, especially when you look back at that late surge before Bedard came back from injury, that's exactly what they were doing. They were just playing within the system. No one was trying to play over their skis or do too much or play the hero every night. They were all executing at the same level, all within the system. And that's like when you look at these great teams in the league and you look back at the Dynasty Hawks even, yes, they all had star players, but all of them were willing to just stick to what Quenneville was teaching at the time, and it worked. And I think when you've got a team playing together like that, that you're going to have, that's where you're going to sustain the success rather than just get those glimpses of it. So aside from Tampa, aside from Colorado, the obvious ones, who else do you see as like really, really a chance to win the Stanley Cup this year?
In the East, I mean, every year Carolina is one of those teams that is there.
And every year they don't.
They just can't seem to get. But like the way the East is this year, this could be a year where, they might have it. If the Panthers aren't in the playoffs, that's one less playoff-tested, experienced team they have to deal with. Other than that, none of these teams really have it to where they can win 3 rounds. Not saying they can't, but it's just so wide open. So I'm saying if it's not Tampa or Carolina, that's a huge upset.
I agree with you, and I'm trying to make an argument.
I don't trust any of these teams' goaltending.
Exactly. And like, so the two that I'm like, all right, at this point, 20-some games to go, Montreal, Detroit, they're neck and neck. They got 72 points each. Montreal has 1 fewer game played. They both seem to be good teams, but do I trust John Gibson? Do we know who the starter is going to be ultimately for Montreal? Right. Like, goaltending plays such a huge role in the playoffs, and you can go a round or two with subpar goaltending, or if you have a team like Colorado that is absolutely elite, you can probably win with an average to slightly above average goalie. I don't know if Montreal or Detroit are in that conversation.
Montreal is where they are right now because they can outscore their mistakes. You can't do that in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
That's correct.
Detroit, I don't trust their goaltending, and they're too streaky. They'll look great for a week, and then the next week they lose 3 straight 7-1.
And they'll look great for a night and then look like ass the next day. Like they are the roller coaster for Detroit is active.
Like that, the Atlantic, you have Buffalo who's just 2 points behind them, and Boston is 3 points behind them. Like those, Montreal and Detroit, they're not locks.
They're not locks at all, no.
And I'm not writing off the Florida Panthers.
You can't.
They are. They're. I don't think they're going to get one of the top 3. I think it's safe to say they're not racing an 11-point deficit to climb in the top 3. And 8 points for a wild card is a lot to ask, but it's the Panthers. I'm not writing them off. I know there was a lot of brouhaha about the top 10 protected pick and all that stuff. I think all of that is going to be moot because I don't think we're going to worry about it. I don't think, even if they miss the playoffs, I think it's going to be like just miss the playoffs where they're not even going to be in the conversation to get into the top 10.
The only fear is they move up in the lottery.
Yeah, sure. The 1.6% chance. It happened last year to the Islanders. They were 10th and they won. So I mean, I know each year is independent of each other. But the odds of a team with such a low chance of doing it in back-to-back years is crazy.
It's about a 98.6% chance of no, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the story of my life.
98.4. My math is good.
But I don't count them out. It's 2 weeks. And you look at the Metro, you got the Carolina Hurricanes. The rest of that division is not great.
No.
I'm not a believer in the Penguins, despite Sidney Crosby. You never count him out, but I don't know.
Hey,
they're screwing with Kyle Dubas's plans because he wants to trade away everybody and get young, and now he can't.
They have, and you talk about regulation wins. They've got 29 wins, 25 in regulation, 70 points, and a plus 23 goal differential.
They've also won the Stuart Skinner trade. Tristan Jarry has been terrible for Edmonton, and Stuart Skinner's been really good for Pittsburgh. Imagine that.
Crazy.
Imagine getting out of a pressure cooker media city and going to a team where not everybody's blaming you for everything.
That would be nice.
So, like the Islanders, The Islanders at least have a goalie.
True.
Ilya Sorokin leads the league in shutouts.
Blackhawks legend.
He's yes. Those
about 8 minutes.
Those 8 minutes. Darren Dreger thought he was going to get traded to the Blackhawks. They play good defense. They have a good goaltender. I'll put a little more faith into them than any of these other teams.
Before we get to the West, one little thought on Detroit. I do have them in my Pretenders category. It does feel like, though, Yzerman is wanting to make a big move. Now, he was right there in Quinn Hughes, but he wanted the certainty, which is smart.
The Red Wings are the Cubs of the NHL. Oh, we were right there for all these guys, but we just couldn't get it done. Yeah. Every guy. Detroit was in the running right to the end.
Well, I understand
Jed Yzerman over there.
But if Yzerman doesn't want to give up his future for insecurity with Quinn Hughes, I get that. Because you have to give up a ton, and all the work you've been doing for the last seemingly 15 years to get Detroit back to where they are now. I don't know if you want to squash that for because I don't need, does Quinn Hughes make them cup contenders? Probably not. But in 2-3 years, as these young guys come up, if you still have Quinn Hughes long term, then you're talking.
I mean, Quinn Hughes definitely puts them you're in the playoffs.
Contender.
And once you get there in that Eastern Conference, anything can happen. You're at least going to get probably to the second round to take a swing at Tampa.
Well, it's not going to happen. He's on Minnesota. Right. But I feel like they might have
March 6th is the deadline. You never know.
They might have a big move in them. So if they make a huge move at the deadline, which I don't think is a 0% chance, maybe I change my thought on Detroit from pretender to contender. All right, we're going to get to the West and our what do we call it? 3/4 season awards next.
Olympic break award.
Yeah, there we go. On CHGO Blackhawks. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi, and what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your house work together. It finds and fixes problems before you even know you have them. It's super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense, and it lets you stream the game even when the whole family is online. All of your devices working together in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And the best part, there's no annual contract, no hidden fees, and you get Xfinity's best equipment included. Take it from me, a lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi should stay reliable and the price should stay put. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more about the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only, and restrictions do apply. And whether it's on the field or in your financial life, the best teams win by delivering excellence at every level. At Old National Bank, they believe every play matters. From everyday checking to long-term planning and commercial banking, their team is here to build momentum and help you move the ball forward. It all starts with a plan tailored for you by professionals you trust. From simple tasks to bigger financial moments, you can count on Old National to coordinate your needs with steady, knowledgeable guidance that brings clarity and confidence to each step. It's a partnership designed to help you feel supported not just today, but well into the future. So whether you're celebrating a win, rebuilding after a tough loss, or gearing up for whatever comes next, they've got your back with tools, insights, and an expert crew that's always in your corner. Take it from me. Love Old National Bank. Old National Bank, member FDIC, where relationships and results matter. Welcome back into CHGO Blackhawks. If you've not done it yet, please hit that like button for us. We would appreciate that big time. Just went over the East. Let's move into the Western Conference. We talked about the Avalanche, talked a little bit about the Wild. I will still have them on the contender side. I don't know. If they're ever going to make a run, I feel like this is their chance. I feel like this is the best Wild team they've probably ever had.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you have to play the Stars and the Avalanche in back-to-back rounds.
Yeah.
Have fun with that.
It's not easy.
Enjoy that. I mean, it's a shame that the Wild and the Stars, one of those two teams is going to be out in the first round because it is certain, not certain, but definitely looks like that's going to be the first-round matchup unless the Avalanche put it on cruise control and slip up and take second. But I don't see that happening. I think the Stars are the better team. They're
I agree.
deeper. They've got better goaltending.
I feel like the Stars, have a vibe issue.
To me, the Stars are built for Stanley Cup playoff hockey.
I think so too, but they keep falling short.
Well, they've got Mikko Rantanen this year.
That's true.
They didn't have him ever.
They had him
in the
last
playoff.
year.
Well, true.
Yeah.
That didn't really count.
But he had a
was just-
insane. Like the first round, he just was it the first or second round?
It was the first
Where like
when
12
when he single-handedly eliminated the Avalanche.
got them through the. Oh yeah, Chloe remembers.
Right.
Okay, so this is what I was gonna say as my response to that was, if it comes down to the Avs playing the Stars in the playoffs, that's like a really big issue for the Avs. So that's the only way I don't think that they would be like. I think they're a serious contender, but if we're talking about them facing off against Dallas, then I feel like that makes me nervous. I think they could be every team.
Yeah,
maybe not Dallas.
We have seen what a agitated Mikko Rantanen can do.
He's playing with a chip on his shoulder when he plays against the Avs, and it's going to be fun. Just those first two rounds there, and as I said, it's a shame that one of those two teams are losing in the first round. I would much rather want to see Avs Stars or Avs Wild as in the conference final as opposed to the second round, but it's the wonderful format we have to deal with, and
Yeah, it's time to reevaluate that. Go back to the 1v8. I'm even of the
players
mind
want
to just go 1-16. Oh yeah, that was a mailbag question we got. If we could, if we saved Gary Bettman's life from an errant puck, what would be the one rule we would have him change? That was one of them. The other one was the 3 points for a win system that we've been harping on for years. Yeah, I would really like to see 1 through 8 come back. The mindset of the current format is we got to build rivalries and regional. It doesn't matter. What builds rivalries is playing the same teams year after year. Chicago and Vancouver, very far apart. Pretty big rivalry back in the day.
Right.
So and
1 through 8 reseed the second round.
Yeah,
Make being the best team in the West
Make it
in the
matter.
conference worth something.
yes, exactly. And if you just went 1 through 16 NHL, I know it's a travel thing,
Yeah, I mean, that'd be okay with that, but I still like the conference, the 1 through 8. Because look, if you look, the Avalanche are going to play the 8th seed in round 1, and then they're going to play either the second or third best team in the Western Conference in the second round. That just
it's stupid.
it is.
Because it feels like your best matchup is not the conference final.
Right. How many years did we see that though with Pittsburgh and Washington?
Yeah.
Always meeting in the second round.
Right.
Wouldn't you have loved to see Crosby and Ovechkin play for an Eastern Conference championship?
Yes.
They never got to because
Right.
of this format.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right. So you have Colorado, Dallas as contenders. I will throw Minnesota in there as well, but it's like with an asterisk. What about the Pacific? I mean, you cannot write off the Oilers, but I'm starting to
No.
get to the point where I'm writing off the Oilers. I don't know. Like any team with that much talent, it's hard to do, but they just can't get over the hump.
They didn't solve their goaltending problem.
They sure didn't. They may have made it worse. Way to go, Stan.
Yeah, they didn't solve it, and that's going to be a problem. But I don't count out any team with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl in a short series. Those two guys can put it. We've seen it multiple times. They can put teams on their back. If they get average goaltending, they'll be right there. They should make a run to the conference final again. Other than that, I mean, Vegas on paper should be better than they are. I mean, they're in first place, but they've got the fewest points of all the division leaders.
Yeah.
If they're in first place in the Pacific, but if they were in the Eastern Conference, they wouldn't even be in the playoffs.
They'll figure out some way to
They'll make a
move.
trade. They already got Rasmus Anderson.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I don't know how much that moves the needle. He's good.
I feel like that's the sort of thing that in a playoff series you'll notice more.
Yeah. Well, hopefully for them.
Yeah.
But they'll find a way to go out and get Elias Pettersson or
Sure.
or any of those, whoever the big name is out there. They'll figure out a way to do it. They'll have somebody killed in order to clear the roster space. That's what they do.
R.I.P. Mark Stone.
We
we resurrected him.
They don't care about next year until next year shows up. They have a wonderfully deep team, but again, who's in goal?
Yeah.
Akira Schmid do anything for you? I know they got Aiden Hill. He can't stay healthy, and when he has been healthy, he hasn't been very good. it breaks my heart that the Carter Hart thing has not worked out for them.
Heartbreaking.
That's too bad. So, I mean, as we said before, if it's not the Avalanche coming out of the West, it's a surprise. If it's definitely not one of those top 3 teams from the Central, it's if a Pacific Division team makes it out of the West, something like the Avalanche team plane got rerouted to a different city or something. Like, I'd be shocked.
All right, looking at both conferences before we hit the break zone, any teams that are currently not in a playoff spot that you could see getting there and maybe winning a round or two?
In the West, it's got to be the Kings.
I agree.
You don't trade for Artemi Panarin and then extend them to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Their head coach is a buffoon, but they've got a good goaltender, and they've got a team that's. I don't know if they're going to win a round, but they should get. They should jump over the Ducks.
Well, there's a lot of speculation too that that's not their only move.
Sure.
So
I mean, I don't believe in the Kraken, so I can see the Kings jumping both of those teams and getting into the playoffs. In the East, the team I'm not counting out of, I know everybody's in love with the Blue Jackets now because they've got the new coach bump, but I don't buy them. Do not count out the Washington Capitals. They're 4 points out of a playoff spot. They just got Pierre-Luc Dubois back.
Yeah.
The last game before the Olympic break, he had a goal and assist. He's a guy that changes that
And he's been good for them. He's finally figured things out in Washington.
And they have a really good goaltender in Logan Thompson. That's a team that I could see getting out of that kind of middling sludge and getting themselves into a playoff spot.
Are we ready to punt on the Maple Leafs?
Yes, they're beyond done.
Yeah, it just seems like for whatever reason, this mixture of players isn't working. And every year they blame somebody else, and then they either move them or they find a new scapegoat, and they just cannot. Austin Matthews just does not look like the same dude anymore.
No.
Like, he was a guy who every shift was a check it out, every shift was a threat to score. Every time he touched the puck was a threat to score.
He was that elite tier player. He's not in that tier anymore. He's not in the discussions with McDavid and McKinnon and Draisaitl. And, I put Makar in that tier.
Yeah.
I put Quinn Hughes in that tier of players. He's not in that tier anymore.
He's not point per game right now. 48 points in 51 games.
And he looks slow on nights, and I don't think the Maple Leafs. I think they're ready to. They don't have. Anytime they seem to get things going, someone gets hurt. If I'm a Maple Leafs fan, I'm probably a little upset that William Nylander spends most of January giving the middle finger in the press box, yet he could go to the Olympics and look like a world-class world beater. I mean, how do Avalanche fans feel about Gabriel Landeskog being healthy enough to play in the Olympics but not playing for the Ad?
Yeah,
granted, they haven't really needed him the last month, but, I mean, that would irk me a little bit.
I don't know. Like
if he gets hurt again at the Olympics, it's like, what are we doing?
That's definitely a concern, but I think playing for the team isn't really a worry right now, first of all, but also, like, they know what it's like to play without him. Obviously.
True. Well, yeah,
they're pretty used to it.
They've done that a lot more than they.
There's no point of rushing his injury, but I don't know. I think it's a big deal for him to play in the Olympics.
Well, obviously, it is. And to be fair, he's like fourth liner. He's not getting a ton of minutes there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Maple Leafs, they're toast, and the Jets too are going to go from President's Trophy to missing the playoffs.
Boy, that is.
Again, they should have done something more than get the PR.
Jonathan Taves, locker room cancer.
He is. Total.
As we've all said throughout history. Yeah. Terrible locker room guy, Jonathan Taves.
You put him in a room without Brent Seabrook, it all falls apart.
He goes and ruins the mojo of the Winnipeg Jets.
I mean, but in seriousness, maybe the Jets should have done more this summer than just sign Jonathan Taves.
Yeah, take a flyer on Taves and,
they should have done more, and now they're up against it. They've got less points than the Blackhawks. That's insane.
Yeah. Taves with 19 points in 56 games. Had been better lately. But yeah, I don't know. I always felt like maybe the Jets overachieved a little bit. Like they were, like you're talking about, a team that like plays within the system and they all maximize their value. And if You're not getting huge numbers.
Connor Hellebuyck isn't having a Hart Trophy worthy season this year.
No, he's got 13 and 16, 279 goals against, 900 save percentage. That's league average.
Those are good numbers.
They're good,
but not for him.
No,
and he's been dealing with injuries too.
Well, that's the reason he wins the Hart Trophy last year is because without him, the Jets are a pretty ordinary team. So
absolutely.
All right, we're gonna hit the break zone. When we come back, we're gonna do our season awards at the break. We're gonna do the Hart, the Norris, the Calder, and the Jack Adams. Join us next. Hit that like button on CHGO Blackhawks. Looking for a winter escape that blends adventure, comfort, and a touch of magic? At Sand Valley, it's not just golf. It's a year-round experience, whether you're planning a weekend trip for two, an adventure for your small group, or a memorable family getaway. Sand Valley is the perfect winter destination. Spend your days snowshoeing across peaceful trails, fat tire biking, ice skating on a pond, or laughing your way down the sledding hill. If you're feeling competitive, try court tennis, the original and oldest of all the racket sports, dating back more than 900 years. Dang. Winter is calling, and Sand Valley is ready to welcome you. There is nothing better than Wisconsin in the winter. If you like a winter getaway, go to Sand Valley. Check it out. You can book your trip today at sandvalley.com. Again, sledding, curling. You've been watching the curling at the Olympics. Very entertaining. Cozy lodging. So much to do. Book your trip now at sandvalley.com. And if you're trying to get yourself feeling like a better man, a better husband, a better person, if you're starting to feel tired and worn out throughout the day, hair is falling out, scales going up, check out our friends at Game Day Men's Health. Whether it's peak performance or any of those things I mentioned earlier, Game Day Men's Health wants to support every man's health journey through personalized care tailored to your goals. It's a super easy process. You're in and out of one of their clinics in under an hour. They've got a great success rate. You're going to feel better and have more energy with testosterone, vitamin supplements, weight loss, and hair loss treatments. Anywhere from 27 and up in age, it doesn't matter. And look at our screen here. Take it from Josh, who lost over 100 pounds in a little over a year using their testosterone replacement therapy. Start your best life with Game Day Men's Health. Check out their locations in Skokie, Naperville, Libertyville, and more, or scan that QR code on your screen right now to find the one closest to you. Visit GameDayCHGO.com to find locations closest to you. All right, we are back on CHGO Blackhawks. Thanks for being with us. We went through our contenders and pretenders. Let's go through our Olympic break postseason award-winning leaders for us. Let's start with the Hart Trophy. Who do you have, Greg, winning the MVP this season?
Well, I already kind of gave it away earlier.
You did.
But it's Nikita Kucherov of the Oilers. I mean, there's so many good candidates this year.
Lightning.
That's whatever.
Damn, if he's on the Oilers, everybody's screwed.
He's getting traded. McDavid for Kucherov, straight up. He's been so good. I mean, there are so many great worthy candidates. McDavid is one of them. McKinnon, what Celebrini is doing in San Jose has definitely been worth consideration. But what Kucherov is doing is ridiculous. He leads the league with 62 assists. Here's my favorite stat from his season this year. He has 31 games with multiple points. He has 21 games with one or no points.
Oh, God.
So he has 10 more multiple point games than games with 1 or 0 points. He has 12 games of at least 3 points, 6 4-point games, 1 5-point game, and had a 9-game point streak in late December into January where he had at least 2 points in 9 straight games.
He's
inevitable.
I'm going to say, not in terms of play style, but he reminds me a little bit of Jaromir Jagr, where you look down to score sheet at the end of the night and he's like, what, he had 4 points? Yeah. Like, what the hell? Everything
he
comes
assists on every goal.
Right, and everything is so effortless for him.
Yeah.
It's as if he's on it's like, what is the level above NHL is? He's ready for it. Okay, challenge me. Yeah, I'm ready for a promotion to the SNHL, the Super NHL, whatever.
He doesn't have that sense of fear when he touches the puck like McDavid.
Yeah.
Like some of those guys, McKinnon, when he gets the puck, you just hold your breath because you know something bad's going to happen to your team. He doesn't give you that. But as you said, he just, at the end of the night, Tampa had 4 goals and he has the primary assist on 3 of them.
Yeah.
Scored the 4th. He's just consistent and he's so good.
On pace for 46 goals and 146 points.
That's good.
So 46 and 100 if you're not good at math. I just that rough top of my head. You're welcome.
Oh, right off the wow, that quickly.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to give
Sitting next to a
my Hart
calculator.
Trophy winner. It comes with an asterisk because for it to happen, this team has to make the playoffs, and right now they're not in playoff spot. If the Sharks make the playoffs, Macklin Celebrini is, to me, hands down the MVP. I know these guys are having incredible seasons in Kucherov and McKinnon and McDavid. Those guys have help. If the Sharks lost Macklin Celebrini, they'd be the worst team in hockey by a mile.
Yeah, I mean, they're 2 bad weeks from being the worst team in hockey with Macklin.
Yes,
Celebrini.
right. Celebrini has 81 points this year already. The next closest Shark is Will Smith with 39.
He's been
And
hurt,
Wenberg
yeah.
and Toffoli are in like the high 30s too. But it is him and everybody else on that team.
Right, and yet you don't get all the think pieces about when are the Sharks going to give Macklin Celebrini some help.
Right.
I mean, he's doing it all himself. I mean, yeah, Will Smith is a really nice player, and they kind of have some chemistry. But he's dealt with injuries, but he's not at that level. No, I agree that if he can carry the Sharks to the playoffs, which I don't think he's going to, he's definitely. I think he'll be a finalist this year, one way or the other. But there's all that silliness about you got to prove it in this league before you. I think him just being in his second year is going to turn, and playing in San Jose is going to turn off a lot of the voters.
It's so
in
dumb.
Montreal. It is dumb, but it's the NHL, and the NHL is dumb.
Yes. It's actually, if you look under the shield, it actually says that.
Yes.
The NHL is dumb. And look, this is a argument in every sport. Does MVP mean best player? It usually does, right? So, fine, I know that's how the voting goes, but when you talk about the impact a single guy has on a single team, no one's close to Celebrini.
Well,
but I don't think he's gonna win it. Go ahead.
That's what always bugs me, though, is the NHL actually has two separate awards, one for most valuable and one for most outstanding.
Right.
So you can have the differences.
And one for leading scorer.
Right. So it could be 3 different guys.
Right.
Or
Yes,
it could be the same guy that wins all 3. A lot of times it is.
Yeah.
But yes, there's no doubt that Macklin Celebrini is one of the 3 to 4 most valuable players in the league already. And that's just because of the situation he's in.
Because I don't think the Sharks will make the playoffs, I'm going to go with Nikita Kucherov as well for all the reasons you discussed. He's just outstanding. He is a points-generating machine, and you feel like there's even another level to come once they make the playoffs.
And nobody had Tampa being this good this year.
No.
And they're best team in the East and a legit Stanley Cup contender. Like, it could be the 7th straight year the Stanley Cup final will be making a trip to Florida.
Yeah. Well, with that in mind, let's move to the Jack Adams for the best head coach. I think this is going to be John Cooper's award to win for the reasons you stated, but you've got to give credit to Dan Muse in Pittsburgh. Everyone had the Penguins as the worst team in hockey, even with Crosby. Everyone's going to get sold out. They've got no future, and that may be true. They probably still don't have much of a future, but they're second place in the Metro. They've got 70 points, and like we talked about earlier, like they're not smoke and mirrors points. They're 25 regulation wins of their 29. Plus 23 in goal differential. That is commendable. No one saw the Penguins at this point in the season securely in a playoff spot without some sort of like big asterisk of, well, they've supremely overachieved or something.
Right.
They're just playing good hockey.
Yeah, he definitely deserves consideration. I agree it's going to be John Cooper. The Jack Adams kind of, is one of those that eventually reputation helps you. I think Jared Bednar is going to get a lot of consideration too. You don't, as talented as they are, he's still getting them to play at a high level each and every night. That deserves some recognition. If the Sharks make the playoffs, you have to talk about Ryan Warsofsky.
Yeah,
he's being a finalist. I mean, nobody, he's done a pretty good job there. They're kind of coming back to real life heading into the break, so hopefully that's a team that, for their sake, figures something out, and this break does them well. But like those are teams that and even like a guy like Patrick Waugh should get some consideration. He's got the Islanders in the playoffs. That's a team that missed the playoffs, but getting Matthew Schaefer there and getting some goaltending has rejuvenated that boring ass team where they're actually watchable.
They're
now.
entertaining to watch. Yes, for
which
the
is
first
something
time ever.
that they haven't been ever. Even when they were winning Stanley Cups,
Yeah.
they weren't exactly exciting.
Well, let's move to the Calder Trophy because you mentioned him. I've got Matthew Schaefer winning it. He is third in scoring among rookies, obviously the top scoring rookie defenseman, 39 points in 58 games. He's got 16 goals and 23 assists, 10 goals and 15 assists at even strength. So he's not like a power play merchant. He's not picking up, he's not getting the points he's getting are coming at even strength. And he's been, for a guy to just jump into the league as a number one pick and look like a stud right away, especially for a defenseman, that's very rare. And I think that he sewed this up very early. I know Demidov's having a good year, and there's other players too, but I think Schaefer, being in New York, being the number one pick, the story matters, right? We just talked about it. It's not always about who actually deserves it, but narratives matter. And I think Schaefer, unless something catastrophic happens or he just completely falls apart, which is not going to happen, I think it's his to lose.
I agree. It's his trophy. He won it by Thanksgiving. I always put added weight to the Calder when it's a defenseman.
Yeah.
Because to be able to play that position as great as he's played at that age with zero experience at the NHL level is far more impressive than, a forward who, say, has played some time in other professional leagues. To me, that's far more impressive to be a teenaged defenseman and dominating games. There's no comparison. I don't care how many goals and assists you rack up as a forward. Seneke's been really good. You mentioned Demidov. The Canadians have another Calder contender with Kapanen. Like those guys might split votes from each other.
Yeah, true.
So this is a really good rookie crop this season, but nobody's in the same stratosphere as Schaefer. It's just not even close.
All right, last up, let's do the Norris Trophy. I'll give you the honors. Go first.
Norris Trophy is another one of these interesting categories because, again, a lot of it is kind of reputation, and it seems to me it's turned into defenseman with most points at the end of the year, which to me, yeah, it matters, but it shouldn't be the be-all, end-all. So obviously Cale Makar is definitely a favorite. Quinn Hughes has been incredible since going to Minnesota. But neither of those guys are my pick to win it right now. If it was up to me at this point of the season, it's Zach Werenski of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Same.
Because he's a guy that it feels like when Roman Josi finally won his Norris, it was kind of like, well, this guy's been so good for so long, we kind of have to give him one. And he's having a crazy good year.
He's earned it.
He's one of the biggest reasons that the Blue Jackets are where they are right now. This 9-1 run since the coaching change has a lot to do with him. He is putting his team on his back right now, and it's not just offensively. He's great defensively. He gets the puck through the neutral zone. He kills penalties. He's on the power play. He does it all, and they are, just the way he can play offense while preventing goals. To me, that's the best all-around defenseman in the game.
I agree. I've got some numbers on him here too. He is second in ice time per game at 26-22 to Quinn Hughes, who plays 27-52 a game.
A lot that went up big time since going to Minnesota.
Werenski has 62 points in 52 games. That's second amongst NHL defensemen, 1 point behind Evan Bouchard, but Bouchard has played in 58 games versus 52.
Bouchard's defense is terrible.
Right, six more games and 1 more point. It's 1.19 points per game for Werenski. The next closest is Quinn Hughes at 1.10, and he leads NHL defensemen in shots with 183. Jacob Chikrin is 1 shot behind him in 5 more games played. So Zach Werenski, this is not a, well, let's give it to him because it's a down year. Zach Werenski has earned the Norris Trophy this year.
Yeah, and you look at, you mentioned Evan Bouchard, and he's got 62 points. Well, it helps when you're on the same power play as Connor McDavid and Draisaitl. You're picking up a lot of secondary assists there, or you're getting some nice power play looks with your slap shot because they're paying attention to everybody else. Zach Werenski isn't passing it to Connor McDavid, who's scoring goals to pad those stats.
No, he is not.
Like, he doesn't have that team around him. So, yeah, to me, it's Zach Werenski. But if a Cale Makar or a Quinn Hughes ultimately wins it, it's hard to disagree with that either.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to, flip tables over. But, I actually wonder, too, could Werenski get some Hart Trophy votes?
Sure.
I know so many guys are having such good years.
I mean, you take him off that team, they are miserable. Sure. I mean, in the spirit of the award, he could get a few third-place votes. Is he going to be a finalist? No. There's just too many dynamic, elite players. But, I mean, when you talk about valuable, if you take Zach Werenski off the Columbus Blue Jackets, they're in the conversation with the Canucks and the Rangers for the number 1 overall pick.
They're suddenly the Ass Jackets again.
Yeah. They'll always be the Ass Jackets.
Forever in our hearts, the Ass Jackets.
Columbus Ass Jackets.
All right. Well, let us know who you guys got in the chat. Feel free to give us your award winners. We should now. Let's want to do your Valentines. I want to make sure these get the proper airtime. Chloe worked on these before the show. We're going to get to some hockey movies to do too. And because Chloe did this, we're making it our Old National Bank Checking It Out segment. Every play matters, whether it's on the field or in your financial life. The best teams win by delivering excellence at every level. Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Member FDIC. You want to talk us through your thought process on this and your creative mindset?
There's no thought process.
Great.
It's just, I think
fit
it's
in
fun.
so well here.
You really do. How many did you make?
I made 10.
Okay, and these will all be posted to CHGO Blackhawks
Yes.
Twitter and Blue Sky tomorrow.
We'll post them tomorrow.
Yes.
So people can see them. I think it's fun every year to do like a little Valentine's Day thing and make like plays off of their names.
All right, let's
I know
see.
some of the like actual accounts do it, but not enough of them.
We beat them to it.
We're starting off
Very good.
very strong. Very
Connor
normal.
Bedard, you'd be my first overall pick.
Yes.
I like the I like the designs here.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank
You
you. They're all
were
the same.
critical of your graphic design skills, and I'm impressed.
I know.
Next we have Oliver Moore. It says, "I love you more and more every day." A little cheeky side eye from him in the white jersey. The red jersey looks a little confused.
Well, he's still young. Love is confusing.
Yeah, love is confusing. Spencer Knight will be your knight in shining armor.
I
Very
thought this one
intense
was-
look on the eyes of Spencer Knight there.
I wanted to make another one that was like, you're the apple of my eye or something like that because he looks so intense
He
here.
always has that look.
Yeah.
Plus the thumbnail you used yesterday, he looks so sad.
I know.
He looks so sad. He has very expressive eyebrows, Spencer Knight. All right. My love for you is Nazar focused, and Frank has the glowing red eye beam coming from him.
Yes.
Very
This
intense.
one's my favorite so
good.
far.
This is
Okay,
this
good.
so far. This is
I think
the
they
leader.
get better.
Okay.
No, looks good.
Maybe.
Looks good. All right. What do we got next? Another Frank Nazar and Connor Bedard. My jaw may be wired shut, but my heart speaks for itself.
I was trying to think of
But
a
you
better
said
way.
by my heart, so you should probably fix that.
Oh, shoot. By my heart. And they're both wearing their.
They
Well,
got
I
their-
don't know what you called
They're
Frank's
fish
because
bowls.
it's not the bubble, but yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
that's a good one. Nick Larda says, "I'd be a lard of ass without you." Okay, I like that one.
You?
Tavo Teravainen, you'd Teravainen my heart if you weren't my Valentine.
Caravane in my heart.
Oh, Teravainen. Yes, there you go.
Teravainen in my
Teravainen my heart. Yeah, I like that.
Right?
Very creative.
That one took a lot. That one
That
took
was
a
good.
lot
That's
of
a
my,
thinker.
Of my brain
That is a
power.
thinker.
Yeah.
Good job. See, this is a cheap shot. Artem Levshinov
low
looking
blow.
despondent. I'd set my alarm clock for you. Heart emoji. That is a heart, right?
It is.
Not a pointy.
It is.
Okay, good.
That's a low blow.
Oh.
It is.
Jay
It's a
liked
deep
that
cut,
one,
though. I
so-
like it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Kyle Davidson saying I'd never trade you. There you go. I like that
I
one.
don't know if that's true, but
He might, if you get a draft pick for it. And Alex Vlasic next to a jar of pickles that says, "Our love is a big deal." Really good. Good stuff,
like
Chloe.
it.
thank you.
Well done.
I like it.
Very
you.
proud of you. Made the Denver hire 100% worth it, just with that.
Just with that. Perfect.
Just with that.
Which
Yep.
one was your favorite?
See the Tava one was a thinker,
Okay.
and it got me. But I think the laser focused Nazar one is
That one good, and I appreciate the the broken jaw one.
Yeah.
That was very creative.
They're good.
Thank you.
They're all very good.
It went beyond just the take a play on their names. You put some thought in
the
that.
lard of ass one is my favorite.
The
So
heart of ass. I appreciate it. Very good job. All right. Speaking of Chloe, during our conversations during the All-Star game, there was a board ad for the reboot of the movie Youngblood, which apparently came out last year.
Well, it's 2025, but it could be like end of 2025.
Yeah. It was last year, technically.
It was.
I've not seen the reboot of Youngblood. It looks
Nor have I.
similar, but the catch here would be that the Dean Youngblood character is black in this one, which adds a new element to the story.
Eric Nestorenko has been replaced by Blair Underwood, so
Yes.
immediately better on the eyes.
That is for sure.
Yes.
Yes. I did enjoy Eric Nestorenko in
He
Youngblood.
definitely, the Mr. Youngblood definitely got more attractive.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, he was not handsome. Not a handsome guy. But the original Youngblood, it is not the top hockey movie by any means.
No, but it is required viewing.
It is 21-year-old Rob Lowe. I showed my daughter a picture because my daughter knows Rob Lowe from Parks and Rec. She loves Parks and Rec. And she, very handsome guy, obviously. And I showed her a picture of Rob Lowe in Youngblood, and she turned as red as Greg's shirt. And Chloe had a similar reaction at the All-Star game.
That was videotape from Atlanta hotel room.
Yes.
Google that if you don't know that story.
Yeah, not on a work computer. Patrick Swayze. And Keanu Reeves.
Very unknown young
Yes,
Keanu Reeves.
young Keanu Reeves with a bunch of NHL cameos. You mentioned Eric Nestorenko as Dean Youngblood's dad. Steve Thomas is in the movie, and they reference Steve Thomas's anatomical gift by knocking on his cup. That's why they call him Stumpy. So that's even winked at during the movie.
Careful.
I was thinking about that when I was doing my Valentines, and I was gonna make one that was like, "Our love is bigger than my cup," something like that.
Oh, all right.
But it didn't relate.
Well, you
enough.
could have put Steve Thomas on there.
I know.
Men of a certain
Always
age
next
would
year.
have gotten it.
There's always next year.
I'll do it.
Yeah. But Youngblood is a little bit 80s cheesy.
It is.
But it's
I
got.
always liked how they didn't have glass at the rink.
Yeah, it was like cages.
It was like
that was
fences.
Cool.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, it's not a great movie, but it is.
The hockey scenes are pretty solid. Though.
Yeah, I mean, we got to face it. There are like 3 good hockey movies ever.
Yeah. And Chloe had not seen Slapshot. Now, we have to kind of pre-warn the younger generation. Slapshot could not be made today.
No,
there's-
very dated, very,
there will be some offensive moments in there.
but still a classic. I still love that movie. Slapshot is a movie that you can watch multiple times because you're always going to pick up something
There's
you
always
missed.
something new.
There's always something in the background, or there's so many subtle jokes that your first viewing, even your second or third viewing, you may not even get to you may not even pick up on it, but there's so many great little lines in that movie that just still
Little ones.
make me laugh. There's just so many. Paul Newman is so good in it. They're just, it's a classic.
It's Paul Newman.
Yeah. And
A cavalcade of other jamokes.
yeah. And, the Hanson brothers, of course. So
Yeah.
you got all those great scenes and great lines.
But see, that to me, it's what you're saying. Like, the Hanson brothers are the draw.
Right.
But they're really, after you see it like 3 or 4 times, like they're just a little side story to what the actual,
Right.
Like the scenes with Lily Braden are always my favorite. Like, what's the
Yeah.
story on that dog?
She's great.
She's awesome.
Or the scene. My favorite is the line about the scenes she underlines in the book.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so good.
There's a lot of good stuff in there, but yes, you will probably be somewhat offended, and
Traumatized.
you get to see Ralphie's mom topless
Yeah. That traumatized.
for a long time.
That traumatized me when I realized that that's who that was. I was
Yes.
like, oh boy,
What is her name? Ralphie's mom.
this is Parker.
Melinda Dillon.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Long before she was Ralphie's mom, she
She has a bedroom scene with Paul
was,
Newman.
Paul Newman's topless friend.
That's a way to put it.
Good for Paul Newman.
I want to shout out. I mentioned it a couple times over the last couple days, but Netflix just put out a documentary about the 1980 team. really worth it. It was really.
I haven't watched that one yet, just because like.
I know you feel like you've heard it a million times.
Exactly.
To me, it felt way different this time.
Okay.
Like the guys were way more open. They had a bunch of footage I hadn't seen before, and they really talked about how they did not like Herb Brooks.
Yeah, I heard the P word is thrown around a lot in that.
Yeah.
I mean, Herb Brooks was not a. He was a.
So they talked to Herb's kids, and they're both like, he was a distant father, and they do reveal like towards the end of his life he regretted that he was not closer with those guys and did not make the effort later in life to become friendly with them on another level. There were a couple players. I think Ken Morrow is one of the guys that he wrote a letter to individually and like said how much he appreciated him. The other thing I didn't know, the time before the 80 Olympic team, 1960, was the last time the United States had won gold in the Olympics. Herb Brooks was the last cut of the 1960 men's team. And his dad told him after USA won gold, it looks like they cut the right guy. Oh, 60s parenting. Good Lord.
Well, now you know why his kids didn't appreciate him that much.
That is horrible.
Yeah, that's bad. No, I haven't checked that one out. As far as documentary goes, there are two outstanding ones that I always tell people to watch, and it's the Red Army documentary is great, and then the Russian 5 one is really good too. I have not seen the Glenn Hall one yet. That one's been hard to track down, but I definitely want Mr. Goalie.
Yeah,
I want to check out that one as well.
There is a scene too in the Netflix one of the Red Army team training, and the coaches are like holding them on the ice with bungee cords. Those guys were machines, and they show highlights of them playing other international games and just players bouncing off those Russian players. Like I think, 40 years later or whatever it is, you don't realize how it was the Russian team and everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, to put it in the equivalent would have been like taking the last place team in the OHL and then beating the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah.
Like it's just
that's not an
Happen.
exaggeration.
Like it shouldn't have happened, and it was. That's why it's still to this day such a big deal.
One close to my heart too is Tough Guy, the Bob Probert documentary.
That one was good.
I know that's on Amazon streaming video, so you can check that out. It's sad. It is tough. I've told the story before, but I got to work with Bob Probert when the Hawks forced his retirement, and he was doing Hawks games on the radio. I was producing those games, and early in the year came in ready to go, motivated, wanted to do it, and then he'd show up late, and then he just wouldn't show up at all, and then you could see very quickly him falling back into his demons. And that was a guy that was the first Hawks jersey I bought with my own money, was a Bob Probert jersey, and I always loved him. So seeing that in person was, especially me at 21, 22 years old, that was tough to watch. So the documentary is great. It is an adaptation of his book.
His book is a great read.
Yeah, it's a great read, but check it out for sure. How are you on Mystery Alaska?
I enjoy Mystery
Alaska. Yeah, it's fine.
It's the hockey's kind of secondary to it.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's a good story. I like Russell Crowe. It's a good story.
Yeah, it was fine. I liked Mike Myers, Don Cherry kind of guy.
It's worth watching. Definitely.
Yeah.
Mystery Alaska's good. Miracle,
it's good.
The movie.
Very Disney-fied.
The Disney movie. Yeah, but that's still good. I still love, it tells a really good story. I think it does justice to that. Obviously, you're not going to use a lot of the same language that was actually used at some of those practices, but, you get the point. Of course, Mighty Ducks is another.
Oh, yeah, those are classics.
Talk about dated movies. That one, you definitely know it's early 90s when you turn on that one. Somebody ruined it a little bit for me on social media. I forget. It was one of the hockey writers was like, hey, I just watched Mighty Ducks for the first time in a long time. And then it just got to me that, Gordon Bombay was a slumlord with anger issues who hates children and it has a drinking problem. So let's put him in charge of a bunch of kids. Who thought that was a good idea?
Sounds fun. Sounds like a great idea.
But it's a classic. I mean, you grew up in that era. You watch, especially if you liked hockey. I was 12 or 13 when that movie came out. It was a classic. The sequels are not great, but The original is good.
Where are you at on Goon?
I didn't care for it.
Yeah, it felt a little forced to me. I only saw it once though, so I
I don't know. It was just like I liked this movie better the first time when it was called Slapshot.
Yes.
It was a lot of it was very predictable and just kind of okay, yeah, all right. It wasn't great. I mean, A for effort.
yeah, thanks for trying.
Yeah, but it didn't do much for me. Didn't move the needle.
All right, we are in overtime, but we're about to end the show.
I have another hockey movie though.
Oh yeah, go for it.
It's not really a hockey movie, but hockey is a major part of it. You want to talk about dated, awesome, cheesy mid-90s movies, you have to watch Sudden Death with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Featuring the Blackhawks.
Yes, Blackhawks, Penguins, Game 7 of the 1995 Stanley Cup final.
That is a good movie.
And the terrorists are going to blow up the building, and Jean-Claude Van Damme is there with his kids, and he's going to save the night. Fantastic. So bad that it is wonderful.
It is, yeah. It is a total...
Go in there with
80s
zero,
or 90s?
90s, 1995.
Yeah.
It is, you have to see Sudden Death. It is so cheesy that it's great. You're going to love it.
What do you got? What's yours?
Okay, the Red Wings documentary and like the start of the Wings-Avs rivalry and everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then it also goes into like the limousine crash and all of that kind of stuff. That's a great documentary. I don't know what it's called.
I'm getting it right now.
Was that just a 30 for 30?
Unrivaled.
Unrivaled,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was an E60. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And that's where Claude Lemieux and Darren McCarty kind of reconciled and became buddies.
Yes.
And it wasn't the first time they talked since all that was like at an event they had together.
Yes. And they were,
it was like in a bar
on
or something.
stage together.
Yeah.
And there was like a whole audience and they were talking to each other about that. Yeah.
You know, I always rooted for the Avs in that rivalry, but Claude Lemieux was a P word.
Yeah, he was, but I would have taken
really
him
good.
I would have taken him on my team any day.
Well, I can't even remember who it was, but like that whole thing, it goes into, them going back down the tunnel and getting like 12 stitches in their face and immediately getting back on the ice. Like that kind of stuff is so interesting.
The Chris Draper getting boarded was brutal.
Yes.
I had a little bit of like, oh, poor Red Wing for like half a second.
Yeah.
I was like, screw those guys.
Can't believe I shook his hand.
Greg said something that reminded me of, you guys watch The Office, right?
I'm aware of it.
Occasionally.
I've seen them all.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, Michael Scott makes a movie and it's called Threat Level Midnight.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And a part of it is like him, I don't know why. Like he used to skate, but a big part of the movie is like the president is about to blow up the stadium or whatever.
Stole it from Sudden
That
Death.
is Sudden Death.
So right, I was gonna say
Stole it
that
from Sudden
reminded
Death.
me
Yeah.
of it. So,
But
that's
he,
that's a hockey
Steve
movie.
Crow was a hockey player. He was a goalie for Denison University from 81 to 84.
Yeah.
It looks like he has an elite prospects page.
Oh my god,
There's
that's
still time
crazy.
for him.
Yes, he does.
What were his stats at the mighty Dennis?
They do not actually have stats. You know who else has a elite a hockey DB page? Charlie the Bacon guy.
Yes, I know that. Yes. Another 30 for 30 that was really good recently was the one that they did about the Rangers offer sheeting Joe Sakic and how close that came to actually happening. That's a good one too. There was a lot of stuff in that. I was like, I had no idea any of this happened. It was crazy.
I wanted to watch that, but it was like I couldn't find anywhere to watch it, and you had to pay a bunch of money. So maybe it's on a different platform now, but like right when it first came out.
Yeah, it should be on ESPN Plus, I think.
NHL Productions documentary. It's on ESPN Plus and Prime Video in Canada. So it should be Saving Sakic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should just be on ESPN Plus. But that was really good too. I had no idea that it was that.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
it was. Oof. And then that was the reason that the Rangers had to go out and sign Pat LaFontaine because they were all in on Sakic and then it didn't happen. They're like, well, who's left?
Boy, that changes hockey history. And that's a big part of the documentary is how much that one move like altered the NHL. Yeah, crazy. There's a lot of good stuff out there. And with the Olympic break, catch up on these hockey movies if you've not done it yet. But yeah, Youngblood, fun. Probably
I'm watching
not
that
great.
first. That's my priority.
Yeah, I figured you might.
Yeah,
You'll enjoy it.
because of Rob Lowe.
Shirtless 21-year-old Rob Lowe. I get it.
You see his butt too, if such things interest you.
Great way to end the
For
show.
the people listening, I shrugged. Okay.
She shrugged and blushed a little bit.
No, I didn't.
All right, we'll talk to everybody on Monday. What are we going to talk about? I don't know. We'll figure it out on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.